Welcome to another virtual Dell Music Lounge presented by our friends at Wild Basin Hard Seltzer and Torchy's Tacos. And of course, our thanks to Dell Technologies. It's about technology at this point as we continue with our first virtual Dell Music Lounge of 2021. Michigander is Jason Singer, and welcome. Thank you for doing this.
Hello. Yes, thanks for having me, Andy.
So you're in the process of moving. We'll talk more about this in a moment, but you're going from Kalamazoo to Detroit, making you the only musician that we play that we've heard of recently who isn't moving to Austin.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah.
Was it tempting?
I really do love Austin. I think it's just too far away from my family and everybody. But once they're gone, I'm down there.
All right. All right. We're going to ask you to play, and then we'll come back and talk a little more.
You're a concept worth exploring. Never nervous, never boring. I don't want to mess it up. No, I don't want to mess it up. Crossing state lines through the morning. Little tired, little swerving. I don't want to mess it up. No, I don't want to mess it up. But I got high hopes, I got high hopes, but they let me down. They usually let me down. Well, I feel like I've known you, even though I've only met you. I don't want to mess it up. I'm probably gonna mess it up. Well, you're walking down the stairs on a Wednesday night. Sure, it's kinda cold, but you feel alright, 'cause I got you in the front seat. And you keep on looking at me, 'cause I got high hopes, I got high hopes, but they let me down. They usually let me down. Yeah, I got high hopes, I got high hopes, but they let me down. Oh, they usually let me down. Yeah, 'cause love, yeah, love will find you when it's ready. Yeah, love, yeah, love, oh, we'll find you when it's ready. Cause I got high hopes, I got high hopes, but they let me down. They usually let me down.
We're back. Jason Singer is Michigander. A new EP coming in February or March?
In March, yeah.
March. All right.
Yeah.
So we talked about your move. You are moving in the middle of a pandemic. I guess the bright side is you've got time to move. Had 2020 happened as planned, you would have played Electric Forest and Shaky Knees and Lollapalooza and Firefly, and it was set up to be your year. I saw you tweet, I only played 4 shows this year. You know what's worse though, 2 million people died from COVID.
Yeah.
But even so, does 2020 feel particularly for you like a missed opportunity?
Yeah, yeah, basically no sugarcoating, 100%. Like it sucks. Like I was writing about it this morning, and not like a song, just journaling about that, and how like last year was supposed to be the year for me. Like we were supposed to do a million different things at South by. We were supposed to do everything. Like it was supposed to be like quote unquote my year. And then everything just kept being like, oh, well, they're canceling Shaky Knees. And we're like, oh, that sucks. But we'll get it next year. And then like, oh, they're canceling the summer tour, all those cool shows you're supposed to play. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then like, they're canceling Lala. And I was like, that sucks. Like, that's a dream of, like, literally a dream of mine. Ever as long as I can remember, I'm from Michigan. So like, that's a Midwest staple is to Lollapalooza, you know? So, and to be, and like everything that didn't like, just like releasing the record was supposed to happen like in the summer. I'm glad we got to work on it a lot longer and put it out this year. But yeah, it sucked. Like we started the year by flying out to the West Coast and playing a bunch of things with radio and all that stuff. And all this is so new to me. So that was just so exciting. And then we get back and we open for Bernie Sanders and we play for over 5,000 people. And then the next week, bye. Like that's like everything just done. And we're like, okay, that's crazy.
Has it gotten any easier to wrap your head around that, or to find ways to maybe let that sting a little less?
Yeah, I think like the silver lining is that I got to like make the songs that I'm gonna release this year a million times better. Like I literally am so like that's one of the huge silver linings for all of this is that I get to that these songs are the best I've ever put out, like 100%, like no doubt about it. And so without this all happening, I wouldn't have had that luxury of time. And now I'm like I have started writing a lot more for what's next, even after this, which is before is always like, I felt like I was playing catch up because it was like release the music, then you're on the road and you're doing all these things and you're always away from home. I got to eat healthier and I'm like losing weight and that feels great. And I don't think I would have been doing that if I was playing 150 shows in a year or whatever.
The songs you're writing in quarantine, do you have to work to get that quarantine vibe out of it so that they're not sort of solemn, isolated, weird feeling songs?
Such a good question. That was like, that was my biggest fear is writing a song that's so like time stamped was like, this was written during a pandemic, which there are like loads of songs I'm hearing, songs that are even on the radio that are about like 2020 and the pandemic. I'm like, this is not going to age well. So like I think all the songs that I wrote, I think all the songs for this are, because there's a few that were written during the pandemic, and one touches on like everything, but like it's very broad. But yeah, it was a challenge to not write a bunch of just like I'm alone in my room and this sucks like songs all the time. So yeah, that was rough, but I eventually like worked through that whole thing.
Pre-pandemic, how comfortable were you on stage?
Oh, so comfortable.
So you're not a stage fright guy. You love it. You like an audience.
It's so hard not to be on stage right now because we played like a live stream that was like a professional like Audio Tree Lincoln Hall Chicago thing, but then we got to do one drive-in show where we opened for Mount Joy, who've always just been so nice to me and like have helped me out so much. And they said, come open the show. And we're like, okay, we're going to play. We played for like 1,000 people, like in a parking lot. I mean, it's all in cars. But that show was just like all this pent up frustration of not being able to play. And like that, they recorded the show and like we got the audio from it. And it's just like, wow, it felt so good to be on stage. So like not being on the road and not being in performing right now is tough because I feel like that is a big part of my purpose and like what I do. And so when I'm not doing that, it's a little discouraging.
Yeah, I mean, at one point, reportedly, allegedly, you thought about quitting right after your first EP came out. Yeah. And so a guy that has potentially those kind of confidence issues, I imagine this would be even harder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I wanted to quit after I like put out an EP on my own And I felt like it was just, I was like, this is the best thing ever. And like, why doesn't anyone care about it? I mean, and people cared about it. And then like, I started recording another one, and then I went to South by, and I in person met people from C3, and we kind of made all that happen. And they really helped me elevate everything and take things to a new level. And now my song's on the radio, which is seriously like, I know this happens to a lot of people, but I like cannot believe it. Every day I'm just like, you can look in my journal every day. It's just like, wow, this radio station just tweeted about me, like all this crazy stuff. Like, yeah, and the fact that like talking to you, like this is so cool for me.
And it would be considerably worse if you were stuck home without a song on the radio.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'd be way worse. Yeah.
Speaking of home, we mentioned earlier you're moving from Kalamazoo to Detroit. You're from a place called Midland. We've got a Midland, Texas here.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some things about Kalamazoo. I've got a gal in Kalamazoo. Derek Jeter's from Kalamazoo. I know nothing about Midland. What's Midland like?
It's a small town. It's the home of the Dow family, which is, there's a lot of cool architecture. But at the same time, it's also home of the Dow Chemical Company, which I guarantee there's stuff in your home that they make. And yeah, so it's a very like small Midwestern town. Everybody loves going to Applebee's. That's the hot spot. Everyone loves going to Buffalo Wild Wings. No shame there. But yeah, it was just, that's where I grew up, and there was no music scene at all there. So I would just go to like the college town 40 minutes away and play bar sets every weekend, for cover sets for like 3 hours. And that was like how I started playing. Yeah.
All right, well, we've got an Applebee's, a wing place, and a college here. So
whoa,
I'm just saying, plus some other things if you need a third choice.
You say this show is sponsored by Torchy's, and I'm just like a massive Torchy's fan. I can't get enough of their queso.
Look, we didn't pay for that.
Oh.
That was a unsolicited endorsement right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do another song or two, and
Cool.
We'll come back in a moment. This is Michigander.
I was hung up on a dream. Being comfortable was not meant for me. But then you walked into the room, I knew that all my plans were doomed. You started talking to me. So tell me what you're thinking, 'cause I think I feel the same as you. You got my knees shaking, so take my heart and break it in two. I didn't want to let you go. Well, I couldn't find a heart, I couldn't find a home. But if you think I'm misery, then baby, you're the company that never leaves me alone. No, so tell me what you're thinking, 'cause I think I feel the same as you. 'Cause you got my knees shaking, so take my heart and break it in two. I'm trying to stay awake till I fall asleep, 'cause I'm stuck between a pillow and a dream. 'Cause I'm too busy to call. Could we try next week? You can blame it on me. So tell me what you're thinking, 'cause I think I feel the same way as you. 'Cause you got my knees shaking, so take my heart and break it in two. 'Cause all I want is you. Yeah, all I want is you. 'Cause all I want is you. 48 hours felt like a lifetime. I know it's dumb, but it's true. You said you needed some alone time. I said do what you gotta do. Well, I was gonna write so many songs about you. Well, I was gonna write so many songs for you. You were a lighthouse on the shoreline. You became my glimmer of hope. And I wanna think that things change with time, but honestly I just don't know. Well, I was gonna write so many songs about you. Well, I was gonna write so many songs for you. Well, I was gonna write so many songs about you. Guess this one will just have to do.
There he is. Jason Singer is Michigander. New album coming in March, an EP. Album potentially later this year?
Hopefully at some point. Yeah. I hope when I get good enough to do it. Yeah.
All right. If we say it often enough out loud, maybe it'll happen.
Maybe. Yeah.
Our Dell Music Lounge is presented by Wild Basin Hard Seltzer. Thanks again to Torchy's Tacos, who we've spoken about just earlier, and Dell Technologies. And thank you, Jason Singer. Next time in person.
Yes, please. Totally.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. See ya.